Shalom. I want to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Harakah Kodash. Double honors goes out to the elders of Great Millstone who taught us this truth. And also want to acknowledge all the Akyam pushing this truth with sincerity. So I just came across this article today on, I think, Google. But, just more evidence and proof that we are living in Babylon, which means confusion in America. Babylon, America, right? And the word America means bitter. But I'm familiar with this show. It's called Little People, Big World. When I was married, I used to watch a few episodes with my ex-wife. And anyway, it's just, and that was when I was in the world. But it's just more proof on the confusion and how it carries over to these freaks, who in this case are these they call themselves little people, because the word midget is an offense to them. But because that's the white man, that's Esau's kingdom. He don't want you to offend anybody. He wants everybody to be soft. Nobody can get their feelings hurt, and so on. But, in reality, you have to remember who made them a midget. It was their creator, Yahweh. And we in this truth, we understand regeneration, which means reincarnation. So we understand that, this woman, Amy Roloff is her name. It's a little midget on the right side while she's in both pictures. But, it's Yahweh that for whatever reason, he brought her back, because the spirits come every 4 to 5 generations, according to the Bible. So he's brought this woman back in this generation as a midget, so-called midget, okay? Which is a curse, and she's an Edomite, and this really, the reason why I'm showing this is because this wicked Edomite spirit, it spills over to Israel, the Israelites, all right, because they follow suit and they do everything according to the heathen, okay? But, so anyway, this picture on the left-hand side shows this little whore with her new husband. Because, in the older seasons of this show, Little People, Big World, she was actually married to another midget, her husband. Again, these laws don't apply to these heathen. But the reason I'm showing this is because our people are monkey see, monkey do. They see the heathen doing wickedness, and then they follow suit, and they're doing wickedness, okay? So I'm going to play this quick video. Well, let me see. And let's just read out a couple of these parts of this article. Anyways, long story short, the little bitch, she divorced her husband, which is, unlawful. Women are not even permitted to divorce in the scriptures. It's the man who has to write a divorce letter, right? It's not a woman who can file for divorce. But in this case, of course, it's Babylon. So the woman, she filed for divorce again on her husband, who his name is Matt Roloff. And I'll show you a picture of him here in a second. But anyway, she's getting married to this new man who's average height. And, just to show to more confusion, in this world, in Babylon, now that she's married to this man who's average height, now she's all insecure with that because, she's worried about what he's going to think when they're out in public, So she's an idiot, and ultimately she's going to get burned in the missiles. But just to show you the confusion and the idiocracy of these people, and I'm talking about everybody. They allow things like this, and this is their entertainment, right? They have a show of freaks, these so-called midgets or little people. So, but she goes on to say right here, if you see at the top of the screen, it says, I said yes, because she said yes to the new dude. I couldn't be happier and so looking forward to this new part of our life journey together. I'm blessed. You see, and the heathen, they think it's a blessing. And how in the fuck can you be blessed if you're literally committing adultery, like according to the scriptures? Which, again, these people are heathen. They're Edomites. So these laws, including the law of marriage and adultery, does not pertain to the heathen, as it is written in Romans 9:4. Okay, it only belongs to Israel, the Israelites, the so-called black, Native American, and Hispanic. But you see these damn heathen saying they're blessed, and that's just that's a foolish thing, because obviously they're not blessed. They don't know the Bible, and they don't know. And there she is posing with her new rock, And if you look at this woman, man, she's hideous, bro. Come on now. But anyway, go on to read right here. Let's see. She has like 4 kids with her ex-husband, as you can see in this article. But if you keep going down, there's her and some of the kids, I believe. I'm just kind of trying to pull things out as we go here. But let me just play this little clip just to kind of give you a little bit of, this is the foolishness that our people, we follow suit in. We watch these heathen do this heathen shit, and the next thing you know, our people are doing the same shit. But I'm going to play the clip.
Listen, I went out to dinner the other night and everything. We just had a great time. I mean, sometimes our conversations go so much better than I think.
And she's a little harlot.
I kind of wanted to broach the subject about the whole hype, little person every type thing,
Yeah. Did you?
I did. I approached it like, are you still good? The social setting. And so, yeah, he's like, yeah.
This little harlot's a whore.
So it didn't seem to bother him at all.
No, he doesn't see the difference.
No.
And then her friends, they're fucking... You can tell by the look on their faces.
Interested in me. So, I just really want him to never question or doubt the relationship because I'm a little person.
So you guys are seeing each other more and more, like...
Yeah, is this like every
3 or 4 times a week?
Well, maybe not that much, but...
Every weekend.
I don't know, every time I talk to you,
Well, kind of.
Chris is over.
See, and her friends are just flattering her, In their mind, they think she's a dumb harlot.
Dating as a grandma. And it's nice.
But these heathen Edomites are all fucking fools, so it don't
In
matter.
regards to the grandma shower, so
Yes.
okay, it's at my house.
Yep, we've got...
But like I say, the reason I'm showing this is because our people follow the ways of the heathen. So this foolishness and this dumb shit carries over to the nation of Israel in Babylon.
We're gonna throw you one. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you guys even wanting to do this. Because who has a grandma shower?
Well, you do.
You do.
I want to be prepared. Oh, you forgot diapers? Oh, guess what? I have some. Oh, you didn't bring a change of clothes? Really? Oh, I just happen to have some.
You and I need to
talk. Yes.
We've got lots of surprises.
See, these heathen women, look at the way they talk, man.
Oh no.
Do not tell me that.
They're so they're phony.
Yeah, he's gonna come out of a cake in a G-string.
Oh, God.
So anyway, that I just wanted to show you that.
Come out of a cake in a G-string.
Oh shit! I hit the wrong button. Let me let this one end, and then there's another small clip that I wanted to show. Because basically this lady's all flattered with this guy right here, her new husband, which I'm gonna bring out some scriptures here in a moment. And with her own husband, her true husband, who's the other midget. Let me show you. Here it is right here. So let's show you this clip now. This is after she divorced him, But let me... It says dealing with divorce on Thanksgiving. See, there's our heathen holidays. This whole thing is nothing but confusion and heathenistic rituals. I'm gonna go to the one right here.
Why is he just sitting here?
Because I'm like 6:30. I was told it was dinner.
You know what? Shove it up your ass.
My mom and dad bickering is
See how she treats him?
Not want for Thanksgiving dinner.
There's tension between my parents, and I don't really want to be a part of it, and I just hope that they can not let it get out of control.
The kids went off to entertain the rest of the guests, and I was just in the kitchen trying to finish up, some last minute stuff. And Matt was there sitting all by himself, thinking, I'm here, I'm ready to eat. Where's everyone? Where's the food? And I just looked at him and I'm thinking, what in the world? What are you doing? This is Thanksgiving Day. There are no schedules, no rules. Whatever happens, we're just thankful that we're here together. You're gonna make that kind of comment? That's crazy.
Amy's just notoriously late, and that's one of the struggles with Amy and I for our entire marriage. And when it was time for dinner, I sat down to try to keep everybody on schedule, and I think she was kind of pissed.
I was a little upset, but what I said was a little harsh, and I shouldn't have done that, especially here at Thanksgiving.
Are we ready to...
Alright, so that's enough of that show. Just wanted to give you a little background on this little bitch, this little harlot. But it's not just her. A lot of the women in America, that's the attitude they have toward their husband. Then when they get divorced, and then they all get married to another man, and all of a sudden they change up their attitude for a temporary season, before they get fucked over, and people call it karma, but we call it judgment, But in reality, it's going to be, it's going to be even a greater judgment when those missiles hit. And really quick, let's go to the definition of a woman, okay? Here's the definition of woman, and I'm going to go to number 4 because that's the one we want. So a definition of a woman is a woman who is a servant or personal attendant, okay? So literally a woman, by definition, is supposed to be her husband's servant, In the scriptures, Yahweh made Eve for Adam, not the other way around, okay? But in America, the woman is exalted, and they want to be served rather than, their natural duty. They don't want to serve, they want to be served. They even have a phrase in Babylon, and it says, happy wife, happy life, when it's actually, in fact, the other way around. So I'm bringing out a few verses, and I'm actually going to go back to this one in a second, but let's go to let's go to Isaiah, because if you saw the clip, and if you've ever been familiar with that show, that the little husband, he was always good to the woman, in the show. For the most part, you could see he was good to her, and the whole time, I remember every time my wife and I watched it at the time, I was like thinking, man, this little chick is a bitch, because she was always nagging her husband, and mind you, these Edomites have a lot of money, the husband makes a lot of money, and so, perfect opportunity for this harlot to divorce him and go get married to some guy who I'm sure I'll be doing a follow-up, soon with the divorce with her new man. But, that dude, he's just one of those people trying to get a piece of the pie, her new husband, because he knows that they have money. And, because even if you watch the video a little bit, there's the show, which I haven't watched it since I was married, but, I seen this article come up, so I figured I would do a lesson on it, because I remember when I did watch it, when I had a wife, and it was that little bitch used to vex my soul, man. And I actually used to get pissed off at the way she treated her husband. And really, you see a lot of that going on. I used to work at where I sold Lazy Boy furniture, and I used to see these women talk to their men like they weren't shit, and it used to vex my soul, man. And that was even before I was in the truth, So just now that I'm in the truth, oppression maketh the wise man angry. So it even pisses me off even more when you see the foolishness and the attitude that these harlots and these women have, So now I'm going to go to Isaiah 3:12. And, it's the man, because Esau, in his kingdom, men are taught to, check their balls or the huevos at the door. You know what I mean? You can't even be a man in this society. You can't tell your woman what to do in this society without her freaking out. And, and if you dare raise your voice at her, she may call the cops and put you in fucking jail, That's Esau's kingdom for you, though, So we're going to let's start at 11. Isaiah 3:11. Woe unto the wicked, it shall be ill with him, for the reward of his hands shall be given him. As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. O my people, which lead thee cause to err, and destroy the way of thy paths. So the reason why women rule is because why? Because the wicked are in rule, like in verse 11. And so who becomes wicked also? Not only the wicked, which is Edom, who rules, the word ruled wickedly, in wickedness, but now it's also our people because they follow the ways of the heathen. All right. So right here in verse 12, Yahweh is telling you that children's are going to be their oppressors and women will rule over them. And you've seen in that clip, the Edomites, his woman, she divorced him, and now they're in, their house. And now she's telling him shit because he was sitting there at dinner waiting for dinner when apparently they had planned to eat at 6:30. And if you watch that video, that little dude, he's real punctual and he's always working. And so that's all he was doing, was sitting there waiting for his dinner at 6:30 like they had planned. And she was giving him all kinds of attitude, and I can't even hold back. I every time I see that, I just want to call her a little fucking bitch, because that's what she is, man, a harlot. And she filed divorce with him, to go be a whore, and now she's in the household treating him like he ain't shit. But that's the way of America, man. Yeah, Yahweh ultimately is the one who has enabled it as a punishment. And again, the Bible deals with Israel, but the reason I brought out that clip with those little people, midgets, is because our people, they see the white man, they see the so-called white man, the Edomites, and then pretty soon they're having the same attitudes. Our women, they're having the same mindset where they can just talk to their man like he ain't shit, So that's why I brought it out. I'm going to go into, and so now that lady, she got married to that other dude who's average height. Now she's all insecure with, with him leaving her because she's a midget, and he's average height. So she's got no logic, and that shows you how foolish people are. And then, our people are the same way, But I'm going to go to Matthew in 24, and we'll go to 38. It says, "For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking and marrying and giving in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be." All right. So, just like in that video, they were having they were practicing their heathen pagan holiday, Thanksgiving. drinking, eating, marrying, and giving in marriage, right? Ain't that what she just did? She just got married to this other dude. And, these are heathen again. So, it doesn't apply to them. They're going to get destroyed either way because the Bible says Edom has no repentance. But like I said, our people do the same shit the heathen do, and don't get it twisted. Our people are eating and drinking and marrying right now when we're not in that time, according to the Bible. We're not in the time of marriage, We're in a time of war, War is coming upon us, soon. And there's going to be a great destruction, Let's go to Isaiah really quick. Isaiah, we'll just go to 66, and I think it's 15 or 16. Yeah. For behold, Yahweh will come with fire and with his chariots like a whirlwind. And you guys know what the chariots are if you watched my videos. Those are the UFOs, so-called UFOs. To render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will Yahweh plead with all flesh, and the slain of Yahweh shall be many. Okay? So there you go. These people are going to get fucked up while they're marrying, drinking, and eating. And that's that balance. Because Noah's time, it was a flood. And this time around, it's going to be fire. Okay? But it shows you the wickedness of these, these Edomites spills over to the Israelites, the 2/3. Those 2/3 niggas, they ain't going to believe these words of these prophecies. We're going to go to Luke 17 and verse 27. And it says, they did eat, they drank, they married wives, they were given in marriage until the day Noah entered the ark, and the flood came and destroyed them all. All right. Likewise, also as it was in the days of Lot, they did eat, they drank, they bought, they sold, they planted, they builded. But the same day that Lot went out of Sodom, it rained fire and brimstone from heaven and destroyed them all. And that's the same thing that's going to happen in America, Babylon. Brimstone and fire are going to be the, melting the elements with fervent heat. All right? But they don't consider this. And why don't they consider it? Let's go to why. We'll go to Psalms 49 and 11. It says, their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. All right, so their inward thought is, hey, they're going to live happily ever after in their whoredom, in their filthiness, in their uncleanliness, in their sin. That's their inward thought. They don't believe in the Bible. And to show you the wickedness, those same people, they're probably attending church on Sunday, this Edomite church, which, lots of denominations fall under that Edomite church. Now I'm going to go to Jeremiah 3 and verse 9. And it says, and it came to pass through the lightness of her whoredom that she defiled the land and committed adultery with stones and with stocks. All right. So this is actually dealing with Judah and Israel. But guess what? Like I said, these heathen, they influence the backsliding Israel. Okay. So Israel commits adultery also. And when our adultery is literally serving the so-called white man, serving the Edomite. Because there's only one God, and the white man has set himself up as God in this time. And so it's spiritual adultery against Yahweh, okay? Because if you served Yahweh, you wouldn't be in a Christian church, you wouldn't be in a Catholic church, you wouldn't be in a Jehovah's Witness hall. You wouldn't be doing any of that. No, you would be serving the living power. You would be serving the scriptures, Yahweh's word, right? So that's just proof, okay? And then we're going to go to Ezekiel for the next verse. Let me just go to Ezekiel. Why am I past? All right, here we go. Ezekiel, we'll go to 23 and verse 37. And it reads, that they have committed adultery, and blood is in their hands, and with their idols they have committed adultery. Yeah, so when you're sitting in that Catholic church, and you're sitting on your knees in that Catholic church in those pews, you know, you're committing adultery with your idols. You know, you're not serving the Most High Yahweh sitting in a Christian church or a Catholic church sitting in those pews, you know. Let me read the rest of this verse. And have also caused their sons, whom they bear unto me, to pass for them through the fire to devour them. And what is that fire? That fire is dealing with the missiles, okay? Dealing with the destruction that's coming to Babylon, America. So, you know, because you're showing that your sons and your daughters, you know, you're teaching them heathen ways. Now, just like the last sentence says, it says you're causing them to pass through the fire to devour them. Okay? Let me keep reading. Moreover, this they have done unto me. They have defiled my sanctuary in the same day and have profaned my Sabbaths. All right, so not only are they becoming literal harlots and whores, but you're becoming a harlot to the Most High by going off on the doctrine, and you're feeding into the beast system, which is the so-called white man's setup. All right, keeping you in darkness and ultimately taking you right into the fire to be devoured. Okay. All right, the next verse I'm going to go to is Hosea. And this is a good one. And we're going to start at 12. This is Hosea 4 and 12. My people ask counsel at their stocks, and their staff declareth unto them, for the spirit of whoredoms hath caused them to err, and they have gone a whoring from under their God. So literally, when you're just like that woman in the video, when you're going to Christian church or going to Catholic church or going to any of the so-called white man who is the Edomite, when you're going to any of his churches, you're literally committing whoredom. Okay, it's a parable because, you know, you're going off, you're cheating on the Most High. You know, if you're an Israelite. You know, those Edomites in the video, the midgets, they are Edomites, so they can't commit adultery because the law doesn't apply to them. And also, you know, they're heathen to begin with. But like I said, I showed you those videos because our people will watch that stuff. And it's not, that's just a freak show, you know, with the midgets. But you have all of these other reality shows, you know, that they promote all of this wickedness, okay? And since I keep bringing it up, I'm actually going to go to it because, like I said, the heathen, they can't transgress the law because the law was never given to them, okay? I'm about to show you where. This is Romans 9 and 4, okay? It says, who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption, the glory, the covenants, and the giving of the law, and the service of God, and the promises. All right. So right there it tells you that the law was given to the Israelites, the glory, the covenants, the adoption. They all belong to the Israelites. No other nation but Israel, who are the so-called black, Native American, and Hispanic people. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to journey to, we're going to go, let me see if I read all of what I needed to do in Hosea. Oh, yeah, we got more to read here. This is verse 13, Hosea 4:13. They sacrifice upon the tops of the mountains and burn incense upon the hills under oaks and poplars and elms, because the shadow thereof is good. Therefore your daughters shall commit whoredom, and your spouses shall commit adultery. Okay? So in America, women are literally free. They have so much liberty, which the word liberty means freedom. But they have so much liberty to the point where they can be whores in this society and they're not condemned for it, you know? Like you saw in that video, her and her girlfriends were having some dinner and they were all like happy for her. Nobody was correcting her, you know what I mean? Nobody was like, hey, you're being a whore, or you're committing adultery for leaving your husband, you know, and filing divorce, you know, which everybody has problems, you know, I understand that. But, you know, that's why when you get married, though, you say the vows, right, in Esau's kingdom, you know. You say those vows in his kingdom. And if you don't honor them, then, hey, you're a whore and you're committing adultery. None of her friends at that table, you know, pointed anything out. They were thinking it because you could see the look on their faces, but none of them corrected her. None of them rebuked her. And why? It's because in that case it was Edomites. And that's their that's how they get down, man. And we already just read it that the laws don't even apply to them, so why would they? You know. But like I said, the effect is we're living in Babylon, and our people watch these shows, and next thing you know, they want to be like the people in these shows, even if it's a fucking midget, you know? Verse 14. I will not punish your daughters when they commit whoredom, nor your spouses when they commit adultery. For themselves are separated with whores, and they sacrifice with harlots. Therefore the people that doth not understand shall fall. All right, and let's keep reading. Though thou, Israel, play the harlot, yet let not Judah offend, and come not ye unto Gilgal, neither go ye up to Bet-haven, nor swear, the Lord liveth. For Israel slideth back as a backsliding heifer. Now the Lord will feed them as a lamb in a large place. Ephraim is joined to idols, let him alone. All right, and Ephraim, for those of you who don't know, is northern kingdom. They're the head tribe. So whenever you see the tribe of Ephraim mentioned, it's dealing with northern kingdom, who are basically the Latin tribes, or also referred to as the 9 or 10 lost tribes of Israel. Okay, so you know that's talking about Issachar, which are the Mexicans. You know, and what does it say? Ephraim is joined to idols, meaning, you know, Ephraim, the Latin tribes. You know, they are literally one of the biggest strongholds on the Latin tribes. Starting, well, I'll say with Ephraim, but also like Issachar, who is Mexicans, the so-called Mexicans. They love their idols, right? They love their Mary statues. They love their Jesus images, you know. They love all the Jesus, you know. Don't let anyone call Jesus a demon in the Mexican church, so-called Mexican church. Why? Because it says right here in verse 17, they're joined to those idols. But I want to focus back on verse 14, where it says, I will not punish your daughters when they commit whoredom. And you see that in America now. Why is that? Because our people have cleaved to the heathen. Okay? So they literally follow the ways of the heathen. They've made a covenant with the heathen. You know? And they're not getting